Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 3 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get it. Let's go. Man was like, hey, who worked that? Dude from Richmond pulled up. I was like, yo, what's up, man? What we doing, Shaw? He like, he seen me. He was like, hey, where you sell that? I was like, I'm looking at him like, I promise you, man. That man looked like he looked right through me. That man looked like he was like, thermal imagery was hitting me. I was like, y'all know I'm not used to being scanned. I'm like, he was like, where you going? I was like, got away from the scan. I was like, how you get over here, man? He was like, look, man, we're gonna have to share. Yeah, cause he owed me, man. I was like, look, bro, I told you, man, like everything is mine. It ain't no sharing, bro. So like, if you try to do something with that, then you gonna have a problem with me. He was like, look, I ain't got no problem with you, dude. Richard was like, Weezy, you know him? I'm like, no, I don't know him, man. He was like, hey, Uncle Frank, what you do? So I was like, this is Uncle? I'm like, what's going on here, man? So I'm like, man, this is wild, man. So he like, man, look, it ain't no problem like that. No, ain't no problem like that. When you like, look, tell yourself I need to holler at him, though. I was like, no, look, man, I'm gonna tell you need to holler at him, man. I'm gonna let you know, man, you mess my play up, man. We're gonna have problems, man. I was like, cause I don't be doing this to people plays. I don't got nothing to do with y'all had going on in 80 building, bro. I said, and I looked out for you, man. So I'm letting you know, man. So my homeboy put up like, yo, what's up, Weezy's early in the morning. Yo, what's up? I'm like, nah, I ain't nothing, bro. Chill. He was like, nah, what's up, though? I see you out here like you arguing early in the morning. What's up? He look at old head. Frank was like, hey, look, I ain't got no problem with y'all. So his little nephew right there, he like, I ain't got no problem with y'all. Yeah, I just want to talk to your seller. I don't want to disrespect your sale. So tell him come holler at me. So I'm like, shh. I'm like, all right, man. Just remember what I told you, man. He was like, all right, yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. I'm like, yo, this dude, I come up the steps like, man, this freaking dude, the Terminator, man. I was like, man, I think this dude can't be an out-pod Terminator run, y'all. I was like, I don't believe this, y'all. So boom. But he's in the pod. He's in the pod, man. This man is in the pod. And you will see maniacs do lateral moves like this. Coming to chase people. Coming to get behind people. You think you're going to duck me? No, you can't duck me. I'm right here like the real Terminator, man. Y'all remember when Terminator was chasing him in part 2? When he was on that motorcycle and he turned into the T2? He was... That's what this dude was, man. This dude got over here super fast, man. Dude was a psycho. So I'm like, man, I get in the cell. My cell in the bed asleep. I said, yo. He was like... He took his headphones off. He was like, what's up? I was like, yo, bro, that dude Frank that's moving in our pod, man. He was like, what? He jumped off the bed. He was like, where? He went to the door. He was like, I said, bro, he down here with his nephew, man. I said, that dude over there that sleeping cell by the handicap. I said, that's his nephew. He was like, what he doing? What he saying? I was like, man, he said he want to holler at you, man. I said, look, before you go holler at him, I said, I told him everything is mine. So like, whatever the situation y'all got going on, he was like, man, it's crazy, man. I was like, look, bro, I'm trying to keep selling this tobacco, bro. Like, he was like, man, I want you to keep doing it. I don't know how this maniac got in the pod. I was like, man, shh. Real talk, man. That's something that you got to handle, bro. I said, bro, look, quit acting scared, man. I said, quit acting like a freaking scarecrow, man. Like, tighten up, bro. I said, show him you got a backbone and tell him you ain't got nothing else for him. I said, he told me you own. I said, do you own? He was like, man, I don't owe him nothing. He said, how can I owe somebody that I was looking out for? That don't even make sense. I said, now, was he protecting you? He was like, I mean, it was some dudes from the red team, the 70 building, trying to extort me one time. And you know, he came and spoke up for me in the child hall. I'm like, man, look, he might think you owe him for that, bro. He was like, I looked out for him for like a whole year. I'm like, man, as he's saying that, you hear knock the door. I'm like, yo, it's my homeboy. He like, what's up? What's good? My homeboy strapped up. He like, what's up? What all here talk about, man? Because we gotta get him out of here if he wildin'. So the dude Rick was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. I want y'all to just clean him up. I looked at him like, Hey, bro, listen, bro. First of all, bro, like, you ain't got no freaking goons on a leash, bro, right now, bro. You don't tell me what to do when it comes to action, bro. Like, I don't care how scary you is, bro. I move when I want to, y'all. So, boom. I told my man, I said, look, chill. I said, chill. We ain't doing nothing right now. So, you know why? I said, because old head gonna fall in line. I said, look, we just gonna have to look out for old head, man. I said, because look, he said he about to strike again. I said, you about to strike again, right? I get him to kind of look like, yeah, I can be just like Frank if I want to, y'all. Like, I said, you about to strike again, right? He was like, yeah, we gonna make it happen, but look, we gotta deal with that. I said, man, listen, just go talk to him and I'm gonna deal with that. He said, what do you want me to say to him? I said, man, just say everything is mine, man. That's all you gotta say, man. I said, just say everything is mine. He said, he ain't gonna believe me. I said, well, look, he gonna have to believe you, man. He gonna have to believe you, man. Have a freaking backbone for a change, man. Go tell that man everything is mine, man. He was like, so you sit there, knocking the door. Like, yo, some other homeboy, like, Weezy, what's up? What's going on? I see Richmond crew kind of clicking up down there. What's going on? I'm like, ain't nothing going on, bro. Ain't nothing going on, bro. Like, ain't nothing. The old head is moving. Say my celly home, you know what I mean? Like, bro, ain't nothing jumping. Like, you know what I mean? He was like, hey, look, man, let me know what's up, man. Like, for real, I'm dying for some action. Little young boy, cool. Little young boy, I'm dying, kind of tall. I'm dying for some action. Weezy. I'm like, bro, chill, bro. Listen, y'all chill out. You know what I mean? So everybody on edge. Everybody ready to wreck. You know what I mean? But it ain't time to wreck yet. This isn't wrecking time. Like, wrecking is not going to keep getting money. You know what I mean? If we all just get to wrecking, the freaking coward is just going to move to somebody else after we all go to the hole. And then it's going to be the next man up. So I done seen situations like this. So I'm trying to be smart about it, y'all. So boom. I ain't trying to just let this junk go up like this. So I said, man, look, go talk to the man. So he was like, he was putting his shoes on looking, man. He was like, I'm talking. I said, man, go talk to that man. And he dip out. I wait till he leave a little bit, then me and my homeboys come out and we stand on the tail, we looking. He go down the steps looking scared. He went down the steps. When he got to the steps to go down, he was like, he went down the steps looking crazy. He get down the joint, he disappears. So we like, where you go? So we look, see Frank come out like, what's up? He dapped Frank up like, what's up, man? Frank was like, he looked up at us, we was like this. He was like, hey, look, how you just gonna give me a cup though? He was like, I ain't give you no cup, man. That was from Weezy, man. What you talking about, man? Weezy said he just wanted to hit you off because he know that, you know what I mean, man, you probably had a little something going on. He was like, exactly. Say those magic words again. He was like, I mean, I used to look out for you. Like, he like, yeah. So what you done looking out for me? He was like, man, look, man, I ain't got nothing, man. I ain't making no noise. Like, you was a lie. You was a lie. Weezy only got tobacco because you got tobacco. Won't you just go ahead and admit it? Won't you just go ahead and admit it? He was like, yeah, but look, he bought me out, man. He bought me out, man. I introduced him to the roller and he bought me out. He was like, you introduced him to the roller? He got mad when he said it. He was like, you introduced him to the roller? I'm standing in my head like, man, you talking too much, man. Why'd you even, you know what I mean? So now me and my homeboys like, oh, come on. So we make our way to the steps. We came down the steps like bad dudes in slow motion. We get down the steps, we like, post up right there by the steps. They like right there in the middle of the little, he like, you introduced him to the roller? I've been telling you, if let me holler at the roller, you ain't never introduced me to the roller. He's like, you just met him. I'm like, one thing about a Terminator, like when a Terminator is mad, when they having a conversation to the coward that they chasing, they say anything, y'all, so boom. I'm standing right there, this man talking about, man, you ain't just met him. Like, he just talking crazy. So I'm like, I'm looking at him like, so I see where the jump gonna go, see how far it's going. So my roommate is really a coward. Like, he's a real deal coward. He like, all you seen is his bald head, like he was getting sweaty. You know what I mean? Like, he started sweating on his bald head. He was like, I ain't got nothing, man. He said, yeah, you a lie. You a lie, man. You a lie, man. He was like, I moved down here just to look you in your face and tell you a lie, man. As soon as Weezy find out you a lie, he gonna cut you off. Watch. People like you don't get to keep good friends. He was like, Weezy, let's do a coward, Weezy. I wanted to say, tell me something I don't know, but I ain't say that. I'm like, man, go ahead, man. I was like, man, I walked over there. I was like, yo. I said, man, look, let me holler at you, man. He was like, he looked at my celly before he walked away. He was like, and he's shorter than my celly. He looked at my celly. He was like, I said, look, man. I said, we on Lawrenceville, bro. I said, there's no need to us to get into no Norfolk versus Richmond over no Coward, bro. So I said, look, man, what we gonna do, man? What we gonna do? I said, because it's gonna go that way, and the only person gonna be happy is this dude, man. He said he introduced you to his roller. I said, man, look, man, that's neither here or there. He was like, man, look, that man ain't never tell me who his roller is, man. He said, do you know who his roller is? I was like, I ain't even know what to say. I'm like, yo, bro, chill, man. He like, man, look, man, I don't want us to have to bang out either. I was like, that was like an old head word, bang out. He was like, I don't want us to have to bang out either, man. He was like, but that dude, you protecting? He was like, man, I just want to get my hands on him, man. This man made me mess my job up to come down here, man. You think I'm gonna leave over here empty-handed? I'm like, bro, well, you gonna be empty-handed, bro? Because this is my play now, bro. Like, what you want to fight, bro? I said, fight me then, man. Come on, what's up? I said, pick a sale. I got mad, man. I was like, yo, pick a sale. All the Richard dudes looking, my homeboys looking down. I'm like, yo, pick a sale, bro. My sale or your sale, bro. I go out to stuff like this. Man, come on, man. Me and you can fight, man. I'm sick of all this now, man. Now I'm getting angry. Come on, man. I walk down to my cell. Hey, open my door up. Open my door, man. Open my door. Everybody looking. What's up, man? He looking. He like this. Stood on the bottom table. He like, my door open up. I go in the joint. Move my ears box. Yeah, move my teeth. Yeah. Come on, man. I was like, yo. I was like, yo, come on. Come on, man. He was like, you just looking. Richmond dudes pull up on him like, yo, what you doing? He was like, man, look, man, I ain't got no beef with you, man. I said, so what we gonna do then, man? What we gonna do? So my homeboy pull up on him like, well, look, respectfully, man, you ain't gonna come in this joint acting like you dictating what we got going on, man. Like, real talk, man. Like, he was like, I was just in the same spot y'all was in. What you talking about? I was the one looking out for him. I was the one telling dudes, you better not mess with him. I was the one telling dudes, this was my pack. He was like, the red team was about to bite him a new hole. I was like, man, pause wasn't invented yet. When I heard Unc say that, I was like, wow, y'all, so boom. I was like, this is crazy, man. I was like, look, listen, man, they ain't going down over here, man. So what we gonna do? We either gonna fight or we gonna get along. I said, I was trying to holler at you, man. What we gonna do? He was like, come back and holler at me. I was like, man, look, man, no, you come back and holler at me. He said, man, I ain't trying to fight you. I said, no, come up here. Come up here, man. We ain't gonna fight. So everybody hear it. Like, yo, come on. Come on. He was like, he came up the steps like, he got up the steps. He was like, came and said, I was like, look, we either gonna fight or we gonna have to work something out, one or the other. I said, because I need that cream puff. I said, I know he's a cream puff. Now we in the cell. I was like, I know he's a cream puff. Like, but I need him right now. He was like, that's what I thought before he moved out without asking me. I was like, without asking you. I said, man, that man ain't your property. He said, once I saved him from the red team, yeah, he is my property. I said, man, I said, you acting like you shake, rattle, and roll. When I looked at him, he was like, I said, man, you acting like you shake, rattle, and roll, man. Better yet, now I got you close. Could be in this past, not in this future. I'm like, this is crazy, man. I'm like, yo, bro. Like, he was like, man, look, he be getting a bag and a half. I know y'all about to get it. He was like, look, throw me $300, man. I'm gonna fall back. I said, $300? I said, bro, that's 650 sacks, bro. I said, you want 650 sacks? He said, man, that's the least that coward can do, man. What you talking about, man? I said, so you moved all the way down here just to get that? He was like, yeah, because I know he gonna have to kick that. Yeah, he got it. Yeah, he got it. So tell him I want 650 sacks. Yeah, I got soldiers to feed. I'm like, all right, man. You know what I mean? He dipped out, y'all. So boom, he left out. As soon as my roommate see him leave, my roommate come up the steps. He come in the cell. My homeboy about to come in the cell. I'm like, hold on. He was like, all right, hold on, hold the door there. I was like, yo, look, man. I said, when you getting that shit, man? I said, look, man, when you getting that shit? He was like, that was the first thing he walked. As soon as he walked in the door to that, he walked in the door. He thought he was about to hear something else. Like, you good, bro? You straight? Like, He walked in the door. He was like, I said, yo, look, man, when you gonna get that shit, man? He was like, I mean, I'm gonna get it. Well, what'd he say? I said, man, look, man. I said, that man wants 650 sacks. He was like, 650 sacks? I was like, he want $300. Damn right. He was like, I said, what you used to give him, man? He said, I just used to let him sell the shit. I was like, man, look, man, this man a real Terminator. He's on your ass, pause. Like this, you gotta pay him, bro. I said, so I'm not paying him on my cut. So I'm just letting you know now. So, like, you can pay this guy, or me and him gonna fight, because he gonna disrespect me, or one or the other. Nobody's gonna get shit. So I was like, you gotta pay him out your cut, man. He was like, when I be having to use mine to do something, I be having to do something when I be getting mine. So I said, bro, listen, right now, bro, I said, you should go beat his ass. I said, you should just go out and just beat his ass and just show this nigga you ain't no chump. I said, I promise you, if you go in the cell and fight him, I'm not gonna let you get banked, and I ain't gonna let him destroy you, man. I'll be right there watching, man. I said, you wanna fight this nigga? I said, so fighting him gets rid of your debt. So what you wanna do? He was like, he thought about it. I seen his face. He was like, man, I ain't fighting him, Weezy, man. That man got a life sentence, man. That man might try to really hurt me, man. That man might try to really hurt me, Weezy, man. I ain't fighting that, man. I was like, you not fighting? I was like, all right, bro. So look, if you're not fighting, then you gotta pay. So like, is you cool with that? Like, let me know is you cool with that? He was like, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm like, all right, bet. I was cool. We and him, we made that understood. So later on that day, I told the dude Frank, like, yo, look, bro, don't mess with him, bro. I was like, but look, I'm gonna make him pay you that joint as soon as he get it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make him pay you that joint as soon as he get it, man. So everything was straight, everything was squashed, and everybody moved on, y'all. So boom. So I probably had about a 50 sack to sell, some roll-up steel, and probably like a half a cup of what I was just messing with as my personal. That's what I had left from that old pack. Now, he was talking about getting a new pack, and I was just like, look, we gonna do it like this. And he was like, yeah, look, we gonna, you know what I mean? We gonna make it do it like this, and da-da-da-da. And this is how this gonna rock. We gonna, you know, he was like, look, but saying though, I gotta get this man 650 sacks though, man. It's crazy though, Weezy, man. He was like, for real though, bro. Like when we split, that joint only be number like 600 a piece. He was like, I gotta come on half of what I'm splitting. I said, bro, yes, bro. I said, bro, you got a real deal Terminator, bro, on your damn heels, bro. I said, you gotta pay a Terminator off or you gonna fight one or the other. You wanna fight? He was like, I ain't fighting him, Weezy, man. I ain't fighting him, man. That man, I said, I already know, man. He got a life sentence, man. Yeah, that man, I turned my head, like, scary ass nigga, man. I'm like, but yeah, though, man. But yeah, that's the count, man. He was like, well, look, this is the last time I'm paying him, then. I was like, oh yeah, this payment forever. I said, this is a forever payment right here. This isn't like you got to keep doing this because we ain't gonna keep doing this. He was like, man, Weezy, why you ain't see that nigga, man? Like, that's why I felt like you was the one that probably stand up to that nigga. I said, bro, I did stand up to him. What the fuck you want me to do? Just go beat his ass? He was like, yeah. I was like, bro, listen, bro, again, I said, you don't control this goon button on me, bro. I said, I'm the one that controls when the goon comes out, man. And I said, you freaking coward. I caught myself. I was about to say you freaking coward, but I didn't say it. I was like, bro, you wildin', bro. Quit acting like you got control, bro, like that. He was like, I'm saying, like, I said, bro, listen, I'm not that person, bro. I said, you dealing with him? Like I was saying, like, he don't even know I'm a psycho like this, man. So, like, I seen from that conversation, I remember that conversation right there that he was a little irritated with me. Like man, this nigga Weezy, like, I'm helping this nigga get money, and this nigga ain't gonna fucking beat the Terminator up for me. No, bro. That's not how Weezy move, man. I move how I want to move. Like, and especially on Lawrenceville, I gotta be strategic because I'm not getting into nothing that can get me shipped off for your pussy ass, bro. So boom. That's how I was feeling, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That's how I was feeling. I was feeling just like that. You know what I mean? But he said he gonna make this play happen. That whole night, he didn't say shit to me. This man didn't say a word, not one word. He didn't say nothing. He didn't say shit. So I'm like, man, I ain't tripping, man. So I'm like, I'm just waiting for him to get the joint. So he tell me like, yeah, look, bro, after the weekend, the joint gonna be here. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, that's what's up, bro. I'm gonna wait. And, you know, we're gonna make it happen. I ain't tripping. He's like, yeah, bro, because we, like, man, like, I just want to get that out of my life. And then we straight, man. He was like, but still, though, man, I wish you and your homeboys could clean him. I said, bro, listen, stop saying that, man. He said, I mean, it'll be easier, bro. I can save my money and we can keep. I said, bro, listen, I'm not doing it, bro. Listen, bro, I'm only attacking that man if that man get in the way of this package. I said, him telling you to still pay is not getting in the way of you still getting this package and looking out for me. I said, because I'm still selling this stuff, right? He was like, look, you want your cake and eat it too. You don't even want to beat the. I said, man, look, bro, that's not going to happen, bro. He was like, I hear you. I hear you. He went back, put his headphones on, and like, started looking at his TV. I'm like, man, I dipped out. I seen my homeboy. I was like, man, this nigga, a freaking coward ass nigga, man. I was like, man, this word. So as I'm talking, I see Frank pull up. He was like, you getting tired of that nigga, ain't you? I looked back. I was like, Sss. He was like, man, that's how my face used to look. My face used to look just like that, man. He was like, that nigga's a fucking coward, man. That nigga wants you to do every fucking thing, man, except put him in a casket. That's all he want, man. I was like, yeah, bro, wow, man. I was like, I don't understand his motive on a lot of things, though, man. I was like, man, but, like, he said he about to strike, bro, after the weekend. So when he get that, I'm gonna make sure you get that. And we straight. We said, he was like, yeah, we square. We square. I was like, all right. He got me up and dipped, y'all, so boom. So I finished venting to my homeboy. My homeboy like, man, he wildin', man. Like, he got a lot going on, da-da-da-da. I'm like, man, I'm trying to keep selling this tobacco. I'm trying to keep getting this tobacco. You can trade, like you got the tobacco. Now I see why dudes got the tobacco to stay out the la-la way. The la-la is a little bit more louder than the tobacco. You got the tobacco, you can get the la-la. So it was like, that was like the major key in there. So like, I'm cool with this. I'm having fun with this, man. So we go to lunch. Me and my homeboy in the joint eating. They got chicken patty. We in that joint crushing the joint. And I brought my mayonnaise over there, the cheese in the cup, cheese cup game. You know what I mean? I spiced my chicken sandwich up game. You hear me? And I got a doozy ball. Got that junk right. Me and my homeboy in that junk eating, chilling. You know what I mean? While I'm sitting there, I can see the window. I can see the window like this, like the back of the chow hall has windows. And you can see the outside. You can see who's getting searched. You can see who's coming in this pod. You can see down there, like the whole yard, basically. Like, so I'm looking, I'm eating, but I'm not paying attention to the yard. I look. When I look, I just seen my celly. I just seen that bald head and that this blue shirt. He was like, this is my worst man just go walking past. Because he didn't come to chow. He didn't even act like he was getting dressed to go eat. This man just come walking past. This man just walked straight past. This is where I'm looking at. I'm like, then I look, the police coming behind him. 2 police coming behind him. I get up. I was like, yo, I seen a dude over there. I was like, yo, that's my celly, bro. He was by the back. When he got up, he was like, yo. I said, where you going? He said, they walking in the medical. I'm like, medical? Like, it's crazy. So we get up, you know, we get up. Like, man, I know this man ain't. I mean, we get back to the pod. So as we get back to the pod, there's a CO dude in there. The CO dude was like, hey, White, hey, man, get your celly stuff together, man. They packing them up, man. I was like, packing them up? For what? He was like, man, he checked in, man. He said he was scared for his life. He didn't want to be in this pod. He said, they asked him, was it for you? And he said, nah, I want my celly. It won't my celly. He said he wouldn't give a name. So he was like, they just took him. They just took him to the hole. So I'm like, man, this coward ass nigga. I was like, this nigga. I was like, I can't believe he did this, y'all. Like, real talk, man. I felt real stupid because I put a lot of energy into dealing with this Terminator, man. Like, I was about to clash with this freaking maniac, man. And this man gonna check in on me. Man, this man did the same thing to me that he did to Frank, y'all. So boom. So I packed the shit. But I kept a little bit. I was a little mad about that shit. I ain't gonna lie. I pilled his ass. Like, man, fuck that, man. Had to, man. I was like, man, fuck that nigga, man. Niggas gonna check in on me because I don't want to beat a nigga ass. Fuck that shit, man. That's not a fair exchange. Promise y'all, man. Pilled him a little bit. Sent this stuff. I could have pilled him from everything, but I didn't. I pilled him for a little bit. Sent the stuff, man. Promise you, man. That man probably was in the hole for like a month. That man was like in the hole for a month. And I didn't even know he got out. I didn't even know he got out, man, till my homeboy, I been talking to him 40 building, man. And this man went in 40 building into the pod my homeboy is in, which is in 41. He's doing the same thing that he did with Frank and he did with me. He's doing the same thing in 40 building. And the reason why I know that is because my homeboy came and told me, like, look, he was like, look, man, my homeboy, he had a homeboy from Danville. And this dude from Danville, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was from Danville, but he in the joint. He kind of a little maniac nigga too, you know what I mean? He a maniac guy, you know what I mean? I want to say he was in a blue team slightly. One of them joints, GD blue team, one of them joints. But my homeboy messed with him, like tough, like my homeboy rock with him. So my homeboy like, yeah, he in the cell with my with the dude I rock with from Danville. I'm like, for real, man? So like, I was ready to get on some Frank shit. I was like, yo, hey man, tell that nigga he owe me, man. That's the word. I was ready to get on that type of time. Like, I was like, Dad was feeling crazy. This story is so crazy because it put me in the same predicament that Frank was in. I was feeling entitled. I was feeling like he did some whack shit. I was feeling like whatever he was going to do, I needed a cut out of it. Like, I was feeling just like Frank, just as not as angry. So like, just imagine going through that shit. So my homeboy like, look, I'm going to tell my homeboy to come outside tomorrow. You just holler at him. So I'm like, all right. I go back in the pod. I tell niggas, I'm like, yo, I see Frank. He was like, he in 40 building. I was like, yeah, how you know? He was like, man, shit, nigga, I been found out. He got out last night. I was like, man, that's crazy, man. He was like, he owe you, right? I was like, I mean, he don't owe me, man. But I'm like, I'm trying to, you know what I mean? See what's going on. Frank was like, man, I told you he won't shit. Then I tell you that man won't shit. I was like, all right. So I'm telling my homie was like, man, that nigga coward, man. That nigga straight dipped on us. That nigga lame. So we go outside and meet dude. So I meet the dude from Danville, you know what I mean? So he out there, he was like, what's up with that nigga though? I was like, man, he was like, he said he can get the tobacco and shit, man. I was like, he might got the tobacco already, man. I said, that nigga's a maniac. I said, that nigga popped up with the tobacco in my pot, you know what I mean, in my joint. He was like, man, I'm saying though, like for real, if he lying to me about having tobacco, bro, he was like, I'm gonna take that nigga shit. He was like, cause for real though, bro, like, I don't like the nigga cause he too scary. He was like, the nigga don't never want to leave the cell, and I don't want no nigga like that in my cell, man. I was like, man, listen, if that nigga he said, if he don't got that tobacco, I said, he either about to get the tobacco. I said, but if he get that tobacco, bro, I said, man, please get that shit, bro. He was like, I get it, I'll get some, I'll get that shit, bro, and I'll throw you some, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, but like, shit, I gotta have that nigga though, but he was like, I don't want that nigga to be in my cell anyway. So I'm just rocking the nigga to sleep. So I'm saying in my head, like, this is the karma of a freaking coward. This is the karma that a coward has to go through. Shit like this, man. He think he landed in another spot where he can just duck off and hide from everybody and be safe because he got a maniac on his team. No, this time around, me and this maniac is on the same team, y'all. So boom. So word, he go to child. I couldn't believe he went to child the next day. I see him. This word. I'm like, yo, wait for me, bro. He looked at me like, and this man gave his tray away and dipped. I'm like, yo, this nigga running from me. I was like, this shit crazy, man. I was like, man, this shit wow. Frank was like, man, fuck that shit. I'm going to the building. I was like, man, this nigga a real broad. I was like, this nigga, this dude me immortal. That's my word, me immortal. This man looked me right in my eyeball and slid. I'm like, damn. So he dip out. So I like, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do. He don't come outside or nothing. I guess the dude from Danville told my man that he got the tobacco. So this is my word. My homeboy came out. Man, was like, look, man. He was like, goddamn, bro from Danville said, goddamn, here. I was like, what's this? He was like, it's a 50 shot. Word! Dude from Danville threw me a 50 shot. I promise you that nigga threw me 2 cups. I didn't deserve anything anyway, because this is how this is it. This is why the story is crazy. This is how it is in prison. Like, dudes jump from one guy to another. And now I'm just like Frank now. I'm like, man, like, damn, this man, remember when I gave Frank the 1 cup? Bro came out, my own homeboy, man, they gave me 2 cups. I'm like, what's this? He was like, yo, this was bro from Danville sent, bro. I was like, where he at? He was like, man, he stayed in, bro, but he told me to give you the kite too. So I get the kite. The kite was like, yo, look, dude, a bitch. But he was like, man, I need him right now, though, man. He was like, man, I'm gonna pump this tobacco for him. Da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like, damn, this nigga that fell under a new He took his talents to South Beach. I said, this nigga, wow. I'm trying laughing as I'm reading the letter because it was funny. So I'm like, damn, dudes talk about he was gonna beat him up, get him out the room. And once he seen that big ass bag of tobacco, plans changed, y'all. So boom. What can I say, man? I wasn't mad, man. It fell in bro lap just like it fell in my lap, man. What messed me up, Frank maniac ass moved to the pod. That was crazy. Frank moved to the pod, man. So when Frank found out that he had tobacco, man, my word, man, Frank went over that bitch and spazzed out. This time around, it won't no talking. Man. I guess the first time he was like, man, listen, I let that first shit slide. The second time he hearing about this man got tobacco again, man, Frank wasn't trying to hear that shit, man. They said Frank went over there and snapped on that nigga, man. They said Frank went over there and rumbled that nigga. But they said the craziest thing about it, it was like my celly, the dude Rick, rumbled him back. Both of them niggas went to the bank. My homeboy ended up telling me that the one that the dude from Danville who he had pumping the tobacco kept all the tobacco, straight bucked on him. Took all the tobacco when he went to the hole, man. So Frank went to the hole and he went to the hole. When they stayed, this time they went back there for fighting. I guess they were saying that the dude Rick was in the hole too many times. He went back to the hole too many times. He did checked in a couple times. Now he coming back there for fighting. Man, they shipped him. Now I didn't know he got shipped at first until I had seen Frank get out the hole. When Frank got out the hole, they put him back in 80. So when I seen him one day in the gym, he told me the whole count. He was like, yeah, man, you know that bitch ass nigga, man. He was like, nigga got shipped. I think he told the people he wasn't trying to come out no more. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, man, like the shit that happened over tobacco though, y'all, like prison is nuts, but this is the shit that happens, man. Like this is a crazy story because it felt crazy being in Frank's shoes, man. I thought that I was on top. I thought I had him. I thought everything was gonna go smooth, then the plans changed, man. That's how I be in penitentiary, man. Everything happens on the fly. That's why y'all should never come to penitentiary, man. Shit is different and this shit is scary in there. So stay out. That's all I'm trying to tell y'all, man. But that was a crazy situation. That's the end of the damn story, though. Man, I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Y'all already know the count, man. Stay y'all ass out the way for you can live out here and be with your family, man. Your kids need you, man. Your parents need you, man. Your siblings need you, man. Man, you need yourself out here, man. You don't need to be in there. Everything stops when you get locked up. So stay out the way, man. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This was a bonus banger. So what I need y'all to do this one. Like, share, subscribe this one, y'all. Let's go. But be safe out there, y'all. And stay out ass out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.